Reality. Most of us are driving older rigs, older vans, and they're going to break down periodically, like mine just did again. Again. I mean, why are we driving older cars? Well, maybe we can't afford it. Maybe we can't find one. There was talk previously about a shortage of manufacturing new cars because they couldn't find certain parts for, the computers, things like that. Well, I don't know if that's still the case, but I know that right now, I wouldn't be buying a brand new car. So I'm going to keep the one I have and I'm going to keep working on it. What happened with mine is I did get a check engine light. I think it was coming back to Tucson from Phoenix. And I remember laughing and looking at Paul going, check engine light just came on. He started laughing. I'm like, yeah. And then it went off. Well, yesterday I started my car. Because it's freezing and I was going to use my heater and I got nothing. And I thought, well, did I let it run long enough? Nope. I got cold air coming out. Well, when we left the park, we were going to our night parking place. Check engine light came on, and my temperature gauge didn't move at all. It was at the very end when we started getting closer that it went up just a little bit. Well, yeah, and then I kind of smelled some wiring, and I thought, well, gotta hurry up and get there. So we did, and it didn't have too much further after that. Called my mechanic first thing when they opened up and said, bring it in. I'm sure after looking at Scotty Kilmer's video, I love Scotty Kilmer, he's pretty cool. Sounds like Joe Pesky, by the way, go check him out. He had mentioned that it's probably the thermostat.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jordan.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. That sounds expensive.
Probably not.
Okay,
We'll
good.
take care of you like we always do.
I know you do.
Friends and family discount.
If I can't get it by tonight.
No problem. And it's just a heater and up, or is there a check engine light on with them as well?
The check engine light was on. My gauge wouldn't go up either. Right at the end, my temperature gauge went up a little bit.
Okay.
So the gauge isn't even going up. Okay. And when I opened the hood, it was cold as ice.
Really?
The radiator, everything. I take it to his Dirty Teas and they know me, so yeah. But I called them just about an hour ago and they said we're still waiting on the part. Well, it's going on like 3:30. So I don't know, it might be an overnight thing. It just might be. We can sleep in the parking lot, I'm sure they'll let us, or I guess we would have to go get a hotel room. So what would you do? I mean, let me know. What would you do if you lost your rig for a few days? Now, I haven't heard a follow-up on Brian. He was at the meetup, and his engine literally not blew up, but it just sort of went kaput on the way to Florida. And it was very devastating for him. And he was in a wheelchair. Well, what he did was he got a U-Haul and put everything in it. I'm sure he had help on that. He put everything in it and went on his merry way. And he sold his van. The best he could get for it was, I believe, that was told me it was $300. Brian, please let us know how things are. I don't have your phone number. So let me know how you're doing. And so that we are, or post on Minivan Lisa's Nomad Life Facebook group and let us know. So there's all types of scenarios that are going to happen if you have car trouble. Is it harder on a car in the winter? I'm not sure about that. I know Jack had a lot of trouble up when he was in Minnesota. I mean, things were cracking. Hoses were cracking. It was like minus 10 degrees. in Minnesota, upper Minnesota. So I know he had a lot of trouble. And so I do know that cold can be harder on a car. I know it's harder on a battery, I believe. I do believe that. Well, you can let me know that too. And I know, David, you know a lot about cars. I only know just a little bit. I'm not, I don't understand the whole system. But I do understand that at times we are going to need a mechanic, and it's going to be expensive. So again, it comes down to, there's all types of scenarios. With my scenario, I'm in Tucson. I have a mechanic in Tucson. And it's just, I trust them. And if you're in Tucson, Dirty T's, they're trustworthy. Good mechanics. But there's going to be so many different scenarios. Like with Brian, his engine blew up. And it was not fixable. Well, last year, almost a year, my 2006 Kia was unfixable. A mechanic just said, no, I'm not going to work on this. This would be like building an engine. No, I'm not going to do it. Not into it. So there you go. I mean, sometimes they just die. And so let's talk about the real issue. Money. Gotta have money for these are our homes, and we need money. You must have a plan. Now, there's a lot of people new to my channel, so I'll leave the link on the video I did on living on $500 a month. Now, some of you said, that's impossible. What about repairs? What about this and that? Well, when you watch the video, please watch it all the way through. And watch this one all the way through, too. Please watch the video all the way through before you leave a comment, because there's information from beginning to end. And the reason I did that video that was stated was so you could save up to repair your vehicle. So stay put somewhere. If you don't have a good savings, stay put. Go get a job. Even if you are handicapped in some way, you can do a fast food job. You can do a job. At Walmart, they hire handicapped people. They hire people in wheelchairs. So go get a job, stay put, and keep your expenses down. Don't keep driving. Don't go to restaurants. Fill up water jugs. Don't keep buying water brand new. Just little things like that can really save you money. I mean, if you think about it, you could live in your minivan if you keep things low. I'll bet you could do it. So you got, okay, what do we got? We got car insurance. You have to have that, but you could go to minimum, bare minimum car insurance. You need gasoline, but just keep that low. You need some food, yes. You might need, you might need a Planet Fitness, but that isn't that expensive. You figure out what you absolutely have to pay each month. And whatever you don't have to pay, you sock it away. You do this for 4 or 5 months, you'll have some savings in your bank. Don't spend it. And then because you're going to come up, if you're driving an older car, you're going to have repairs. I mean, it's just a given. You're going to have to do that. So, I mean, I know this might sound like a bummer. Ooh, it's a bummer. It is a bummer. I wasn't happy. Again. And I thought, right, I know some of you, even Paul said, he goes, you're going to get some people say, you shouldn't have bought that van because it was a restored title. You shouldn't have bought that van. But actually, it's a 2014. Little things are going to go. And I've got some money in my savings. When I started out as a nomad, I had about $10,000 in savings. But I bought a lot of little things for my van. So actually, by the time I left Tucson and headed my way towards Ohio for the first time, I probably really only had maybe 7 or 8. But it was enough that if there was trouble on the road, I could help myself out. Now, what if, like you're Brian, or there's some of you that just like, you're on like 250,000 miles on your rig, on your minivan or whatever. You're going to have to save up for a new rig. Yeah. Another thing too is AAA. I use AAA. Now, I do know that some of you have towing and windshield protection, battery protection with your insurance company, your car insurance. I have AAA. And I believe I have one 200-mile tow up to 200 miles, which is really cool. Like if I broke down in Phoenix, I could definitely get back down to Tucson. Yeah. If I was in Flagstaff, no. I'd have to find somebody in Flagstaff or Phoenix to get it fixed. But it's good to have the towing. And it really, AAA is not that expensive. I don't know what a tow costs. You can let me know in that in comments what a tow costs these days. But I'm happy that I have AAA for sure, and I'm glad that my insurance that I have, and I'm glad that I have a mechanic right nearby. Now, I mentioned, we're going to be traveling. Well, we had to put that off because we don't feel too good right now. But we did, I'm glad that we put it off. I'm glad. Can you imagine getting stuck in another state and not knowing the city at all and just grasping at straws, or on the highway, because my thermostat could have went bad. Yeah. Oh my gosh, here's another scenario. I don't want to scare anybody. I really don't. And knock on wood, wherever. Oh, what? What if you get rear-ended or somebody like hits you? And your car's got to go to the body shop? Oh my gosh. That's not in one day scenario. You're going to have to, it's going to be there for maybe a week. Never had that happen, thank God. But I did get a message when, about an hour ago, my daughter texted me and said, "Hey mom, pray for me. I just got rear-ended. I'll talk to you later." So I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm sure she's okay. She would have said something, but you never know. I mean, so I know it happens because it just did to somebody I'm very close to. So their car's probably going to have to be in the shop for a while. So as nomads, what are we going to do? Get yourself a plan. I can't tell you what the plan should be. I know what I would probably do. I would have to get everything out of my van that I would need. And, well, actually, I do. At the moment, I do have full coverage if I get rear-ended. I think that I'd have to look to see what my policy says, but I think I do have some hotel, that if I have to not get another car, I think I can rent one, or I can get a hotel or something like that. So I'll have to see what that is all about. Look at your policies, everybody, and see what's available for you when the time, if that happens. I hope it never does to any of us, but if it does, we all are going to have, we have to deal with it as things crop up. So this probably isn't, the most positive video, and it can be kind of scary. Some of you are thinking, well, do I want this lifestyle? Do I want to get on the road? Well, this could happen to anybody, whether they're in bricks or sticks, but they do have a home to go to, whereas ours is our home. Having car trouble, I'm going to just say it, it's the most anxiety-creating situation, having car trouble, of anything, other than somebody trying to break into your vehicle. Or just coming on in because you forgot to lock it, like happened to Cindy. She's a new nomad, and she didn't lock she thought she did with the key fob. And she has a ProMaster like Paul's, and she was in the back of her van. And all of a sudden she heard something, and she looked up in here and turned the curtain, and there's a guy sitting in her front seat. She didn't get a weapon. She said she forgot all about that, but she sure gave him a tongue lashing, and he got out, it was raining, and he goes, So that's anxiety producing, yeah, but car trouble, yeah. So if I wasn't with Paul, what would I do? I would have hung out there, or maybe taken Uber, or I know the bus system here, maybe taken the bus to the library downtown and sat there until they called me. I could have sat there and probably done all kinds of things down it. I could have done that. Yeah. So I don't know what else I would have done. I would have to see what the situation was. But because we traveled together, what did we do? We went and had breakfast, and then we drove to the mall. And he's sitting right over here, but he doesn't feel too good, so still. He's going. I love it. We got some little bit of noir going on, don't we? This is like, ooh, black. Yes, I love the black background. Yeah, there. Do a little modeling. Okay. Well, I hope you don't run into too many car troubles. I really do. And I hope that I don't run into too many more. I'm prepared if they happen. And I just hope that I have anything that goes wrong needs to happen here in Tucson where my mechanic is. There. Thank you. Oh, yes. Okay. So, this is today's video. I'll see you tomorrow. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. If you're thinking about becoming a nomad, there's the book. There's the book. And go to minivanlee.com. I have glasses. This is called Casey's Way glasses, the big glasses. And I've got neck gaiters. I love them. I love these neck gaiters. And I have exercise videos. And I do have schmucks, so for sale. Yeah. It helps support me. I love you guys. Till tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have my van. High five. Do it again. We gotta do better. Okay, this. Okay. Bye. Love you. Okay. Where's he gonna put it?
Just trying to figure out where to put it, huh?
Yeah. Is this gonna be an all-day ordeal, I wonder?
I'm gonna ask him, where do I put it? France? Where's he going?
He's gonna,
You
yeah.
know?
You can probably, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe he's gonna go ask him.
Yeah, I bet. Are you warm in here, Paul?
I am. It is, right now, it says 37 degrees on my vehicle's thermometer. And I believe it. It's every bit of that or less.
And you probably wish I'd shut the door so you could
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but that would be fine.
Oh, there's Abby. Look at you. So beautiful. She's like, shut the door and be quiet. Update. Everything got completed. What happened was the heater hose T-connector busted. It doesn't melt it. They said it was plastic, and I guess they're plastic. And I said, well, what did you replace it with? What type of material? And they said, all we can find is plastic. So, but it is a 2014, and that broke, and all my coolant went out of my radiator. Now, the the heater hose T-connector was only $20. They put a gallon of coolant in for $30. And then the labor itself was $130 because it took them a long time they had to do testing. They had to get out all the air in the system. And so the total was $200.62. I'm really happy with it. And I'm just glad, that they're there. And I'm glad it's fixed. I have heat now, and I did want to make sure that you all had an update. I love you guys. I have a full-blown cold now, and you can tell my nose is running, and but I don't feel too bad, so it's all going to be okay. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.